Try that again then. Fingers crossed we are now potentially live. There's upcoming. Fingers crossed. There we go, now we're live. Welcome in glorious KEW fans for another thrilling evening's action in the KEW. We will get things kicked off and started then with tag team action, which sees the Coven taking on the Men of Science. And of course, the Men of Science, a bit of history here. And oh, look at this, straight away, the four of them brawling away in the ring. No love lost between these two teams. Of course, the Men of Science put out via injury by the Coven early doors in the KEW. And we haven't seen the Cyclops back in action for months, and this is of course a #1 contenders match for the tag team belts, which will be an offer to one of these teams next week in the KEW, ladies and gentlemen. Will it be the Coven taking the victory and going for the gold again, or the silverware rather, or will it be the Cyclops and Do Genes, the Men of Science, getting the victory and getting over the line to have a potential shot at the KEW tag team titles? Let's find out, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a swift start here with the Men of Science, of course, bum rushing the Coven in the ring. Couldn't even wait for the entrances, just decided to storm down to the ring, get things kicked off. And since then, though, it's been the Coven who have taken the lead in this one. You have to say maybe the advanced years of someone like Do Genes, and the Cyclops are finally catching up with them. Good reversal of fortunes there, though, from Do Genes. Can he build on this and build some momentum now to try and get his team back into this match here? Pulls the Witch Mother out of the corner now. She bounces her head viciously off the matting there. Goes for the cover as well, and the Plowman sees it necessary to get into the ring and break that one up. And you can see Do Genes a little less than impressed. He thought he might have potentially had a sneaky quick win there. He's got the Witch Mother now pinned in the corner as well. Gets the tag into the Cyclops here, just what he wants. And the Cyclops now looking to take advantage of things in the ring. Gets a tag early doors straight away. Back to Do Genes here. The Witch Mother in a bad shape here in the corner after an early and explosive good start. She struggled to get into this one, but maybe this is just what she needs. A little punch there and a hit to the back, and maybe now she can try and work back into it. That Anaconda grip now gripping the airways of Do Genes, trying to shut off the airways, but he's managed to punch his way back out of it. A few shots to the ribs there, and can he now continue the dominance we saw already with a drop kick nastily to the Witch Mother's head? And we of course know until the Witch Mother tags the Plowman back in, she's in a vulnerable position because the Plowman's not able to come back in and break up any pinfall. She doesn't look like she needs him currently at the moment, though. She's got Do Genes pulled away into the centre of the ring. I would have thought to use that as an opportunity to go for a pin, but, well, not a pin, sorry, as a tag, but she goes for the pin early doors there. Complicated move it looked like, and now rolls Do Genes over and goes for the pin, and the Cyclops in to break it up, and now he's used his entry into the ring token, if you like, and can no longer come back in to break up the next pinfall. Choking over the top rope now. And leaves him hanging in the middle rope there, ready for the Plowman to inflict his next level of damage. And Plowman picks him back up to his feet now and has him down on the floor, and the crossface here looks like it might be a crippled crossface of descriptions. And the Plowman continuing that early assault here. Big kick to the face there, drives the Do Genes back to the floor. Gets up quickly here. He gets a little shot into the guts, and that's enough to break up that momentum and get Do Genes back on top. Big kick here, and here comes inbound, a pedigree in the corner, and the Cyclops can't come in to break this up. Is it going to be the Coven's victory? 1, 2, 3 it is, pretty resoundingly. It was pretty much all Coven from the word go, to be honest, and the Coven take the victory, having survived being early assaulted in this one. And look at this, the darkness that wraps around Miss Kasuj as her arm is lifted high by her acolyte, by the ploughman. He crawls into the ring and worships his dark mistress, thrusting and rotating around her, just what she wants, as you can see from the long, slow blink there. And the Coven will go after the KEW Tag Team titles in due course. We'll move to our next match for the evening then. One in the middle of the power rankings here. Benji, after a good victory out last time around against the Tanj, cemented the Tanj slump. And that won't have done Tanj any favours in trying to build some sort of momentum to get back up the KEW power rankings. Maybe storm for a late shot at being a 3-time champion. Benji, however, progresses on, and could it be him who could be a 3-time champion in the KEW, ladies and gentlemen? He's going to have it all to do for the next coming months in the KEW, but the fans are eager to see the man back. We've, of course, seen that mentality switch since he's suffered the injuries and he's suffered the assault at the hands of Mark. He will not be happy that the current KEW champion is his arch nemesis, the Skeleton King. That's an extra nugget of motivation if he needed any extras to climb back up to the top of the ladder and dethrone his arch rival. And this, though, will not be an easy one for him here, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be pushed all the way against an athlete he's not had too many dealings with in one-on-one competitions, but it will be a tough slog nevertheless as the pyrotechnics go off. And the Red Ranger Benji makes his way around the ring to salute the KEW faithful and the KEW fans who are here and thrilled to see their man in action. And he will be taking on a member of the Coven who was, of course, unveiled as a later acolyte of the Dark Witch Mother and her dark powers. Of course, the witch's favourite familiar is, of course, the Black Cat. And it is James the Cat as the pyrotechnics go off. The KEW fans, still a big fan favourite, is James the Cat. He's taken the Coven to glory in the past, now looking for that singles glory as well, whilst the Coven are also on the up. Can James the Cat capitalise here? Will he be out in the tag divisions next week? He's going to have it all to do in this one. Benji's on the up. Can James the Cat continue some momentum in his KEW career as well? A good win for James the Cat here, and that'll put him right as a contender, almost a cat amongst the pigeons, if you will, within the top rankings of the KEW. You'd have to say whoever wins this will probably likely be facing the Power Couples Man Crusher in the next phase of the Battle of the Power Rankings. And of course we'll have a few others taking place later this evening as well to try and firm up those rankings and see who should be the next #1 contender. We'll have the Firefighter taking on the Assassin in our next match, and that will be a #1 contenders match, ladies and gentlemen. And of course there won't be too many matches you'll have to win to get in that #1 contenders spot, as the roster looks to clear its path to the top. It will be athletes like these who know that they could be 2 short wins away potentially from getting a KEW title shot out of nowhere. And we, of course, will finish our evening with a KEW title shot. In early doors here, James the Cat has been explosive. And the DDT, a fisherman suplex of sorts, and now furious rights, lefts and kicks. And Benji looks a little ring rusty again here. He looked ring rusty in his last match. He went the full distance in that one, though. Took him a good while to get really going in that match. But when he did get going, he did look back to his best, back to that resplendent Benji form we've come to know and love. And it was a resounding performance for him that saw him pick up the W against the Tanj man, of course. But that was a Tanj who was out of sorts, in a slump. And James the Cat looking very dominant here. You can see he's an athlete who has been honing his craft in the months in the KEW. Diving drop kick off the second rope there, driving Benji down. And I wondered if he'd go for the pinfall early doors, but he's not. He's going for more devastation and domination. This is a different side of James the Cat as well that we've seen over recent weeks. He looks more focused. Maybe it's the confidence of being part of a stable here, but he gets called out by Benji and slammed into a submission hold, wrenching on the arm, but now manages to somehow get a bit of leverage back there and punches his way back out of it. But you can see immediately gripping the arm there how much damage was done to the arm. But James the Cat, as he swings off the ropes for a tornado DDT, and maybe James the Cat has been watching back the tapes of how Mark managed to defeat Benji in the past. He knows that Benji's an athlete. He likes to slow it down. And if James the Cat can keep this tempo up, we say, why can't he win this one here, ladies and gentlemen? Benji catches him a little cold there, though, but he reverses it around and shoves him off the apron down to the outside. Benji in trouble once again here, ladies and gentlemen. It's all James the Cat so far, and this would be a huge win for James the Cat. It would really push him up those power rankings, and then he'd have to question whether he'd get a potential opportunity to continue that power ranking surge, or will the Coven pull him into the tag team title match next week. We'll have to wait and see. A little trip of the referee there as Benji is sent back into the ring. James the Cat taking his time here as Benji removes that padding. We've seen him do this before. It's a sneaky tactic as a bulldog catches James the Cat flush there. Little cat and dog action there, and now Benji, he gets a submission, locks in the tentacle wrap, locked in out of nowhere, but James the Cat with more than enough power to get back out of this one on a leg sweep sends Benji down to the KEW matting, slow back to his feet, but Benji's up and swiftly on top of things again there, the shoulder charge driving James the Cat down, maybe a little stinger for James the Cat as well there. It looked like he was shaking his arm there. Maybe Benji's managed to find the swinging momentum that he needed. James the Cat took too long on the outside. Now Benji's taking his sweet time. James the Cat slow and dazed though it seems, and now he's going to get a few swift kicks and a thigh to the face from Benji as well. It's not where you want your face shoved. It's right next to the booty cheeks of Benji, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. But James the Cat has got a measure of reversals there, up to a 4 count as he lets his man down on the outside. Of course, no champion's advantage here. You can win by counter. Harry James goes flying over the top rope, but gets his angles wrong horribly there. And Benji, look at this, slapping the booty right in the face of James the Cat. But James the Cat saying, have some of this. This will teach you for slapping the booty in my face. Swinging neck breaker now, driving Benji down on the outside. As James the Cat looks to continue this assault on Benji's, a running senton there, driving his back into Benji's. You can see James the Cat gripping his own back as he came up. Maybe he caught himself a little too low there, didn't quite get the connection he wanted, and damaged the lower back. Rolls Benji into the ring now, but if James the Cat can pull off a stunner here, but is that padding going to, running senton again. Although that's the wisest move from James the Cat, he looked slow into the cover there as Benji gets the kick out at 2, and James looks a little frustrated there. But again, that padding uncovered in the corner. The referee spotted it now, and here we go. The referee dealing with that padding in the corner. Can Benji use this as a momentum shifter here whilst the referee is busy? Again, James running splash there, and I thought he might go for the cover, perhaps realises the referee's dealing with the padding off the side ropes. He goes again and another running splash, and Benji is in all sorts of bother here. It's all James the Cat as he looks poised and ready to put this one away. Kick to the gut, stunner, down goes Benji. Hook of legs from James the Cat to advance in the power rankings too. Benji rolls a shoulder. I thought it was there, ladies and gentlemen. I thought that was it. Benji somehow rolls a shoulder. The resilience from that man, goodness gracious me, everything he's been through to get back to where he is in the KEW should tell you everything you need to know about Benji. But the resilience to kick out of that, and James the Cat again looked like he landed awkwardly on his lower back there. If Benji can look to get back into this one, surely that's got to be the area he's going to have to focus on and try and attack. Throws James the Cat into the barricades now, rolls back into the ring. Like Benji might have a little bit of blood dripping from his forehead. I wonder if he got caught awkwardly by James the Cat diving out of the ring. We'll have to watch back on the replays. Furious kicks from Benji as James the Cat though ducks under the one there, but managed to get back into a measure of things. A big kick there, driving James the Cat down onto the matting. Good kick from Benji as he hooks the leg and goes for the cover. Just a 1 count though. James the Cat plenty left in the tank. A little too early for Benji to be going for the cover, but this is the type of momentum Benji needed in this match. Get himself back into it. Heavy kick there from Benji, but now caught by James the Cat as he went for a second one, and Benji gets the elbow up out of the corner. He's been in the corner many a times before, and a nasty low neck breaker there from Benji, trying to snap maybe the high back of James the Cat there. He knows that the back looks to be the issue for James. Again, he's slow back to his feet. Here is James the Cat as Benji, big thigh drive right into the side of James the Cat's head as he rolls to the outside now. Benji makes his way round the outside, big chop there, but James the Cat shrugs it off, gives him a kick to the gut, spins him round and delivers a neck breaker, sitting neck breaker of his own on the outside. A nasty move there from James, and Benji slow back to his feet now. Furious riots from James the Cat letting out some frustration there, up to a 4 count. As you can see, Benji rolling and holding his head in agony there, like on the outside, as James tells his man to get back to his feet. He's ready to inflict more punishment on him should he wish to continue the fight. James the Cat rolls out the ring at the 7 count as Benji smartly makes his way back into the ring. Can he catch James the Cat cold? He does indeed. Big shot there, and now Benji has him down on the floor. The lock's locked in, choking the airways off. Is James the Cat going to fade here? Is he going to tap? Let's see, ladies and gentlemen. James looks like he's fading away here, but just powers out of it at the last second there. Maybe not quite done enough there. Benji to wear down James the Cat. Now stunner out of nowhere. Down goes Benji. Hooks the leg. Surely this will be it now. 1, 2, 3. James the Cat advances with a stunner out of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen. A classic James the Cat move. Cracking stunner, cracking match. James the Cat advances. Benji will be devastated, I'm sure, having knocked off Tange to get himself back in the power rankings conversations. To lose to James the Cat will put a massive dent in his KEW title ambitions, and James the Cat will slide up those power rankings, and will probably be facing the Man Crusher next week to see if he can potentially be the next #1 contender after one of these two men will earn an opportunity here. This is a rivalry we've seen between these two many a time in the tag division, of course, with the Safety Men and the Falcon and the Eagle have had their own fair share of run-ins individually as well, with the Assassin being the KEW champion and the Firefighter being a #1 contender, not quite getting over the line against the Assassin though.
From London, England, weighing in at 219 pounds.
He is on a hot streak though, the Firefighter, so you have to say he'll be one to watch here in this one. Can he dethrone the Assassin and become the #1 contender? Time will tell. He, of course, has had a troubled time recently in the tag division. The safety squared rather, hasn't come to fruition really.
And his opponent from London, England, weighing in at 191 pounds.
He'll be looking though to focus on his singles campaign here, the Firefighter. And of course, Atomic Andy will be wondering if he should foray back into the singles and try and get a shot at the KEW title. He is, of course, a one-time KEW champion. He'd love to be a two-time one, I'm sure. The question remains, though, can anyone dethrone the Skeleton King? We'll find out after this match, of course, where the title's on the line again. The Assassin focused and ready here. He is an athlete who has had a successful time as being a KEW champion in the past, but of course was offered the opportunity that if he'd managed to be able to defeat the Skeleton King before the last main pay-per-view, Big Bird's Bash, he would have been the #1 contender for the belt. Wasn't able to take that opportunity though. The Skeleton King defeated him in a pretty resounding fashion, you have to say, and since then the Assassins wobbled a little bit. Can the Firefighter take advantage of that wobble? There are rumours, of course, that with the KEW coming to a close, that the tag team of the Assassin and Big Bird, known as the Falcon and the Eagle, that they could reform themselves, and that of course would be something that the Safety Men, Safety Squared as they are now, would have a big say and big attention in. Former tag team champions, both of them, and whether they could compete against each other in the tag divisions again. I'm sure the KEW faithful would love to see the CEO come back and give it another run at the tag team titles, and of course the tag division's looking strong these days with the Power Couple, the Coven and the Misfits, and of course the Safety Squared, and the addition of the Falcon and the Eagle coming back again as well would be a welcome addition to the tag divisions, and it is early doors here. Well, the firefighter looked like he's getting involved with the referee there. It looked like the referee was holding him back from the Assassin. A little bit of interference there, and again those rumours coming to light. Oh, that the Assassin in league again with the league commissioner, but gets power bombed to the floor here, but the Assassin back up quickly from that. It's been all firefighters so far, you have to say. Gives him the Assassin's edge though, goes for the cover and just a 1 count as the firefighter rolls out of that comfortably. But it's a psychological edge now that the Assassin has. He says, I got the first pinfall on you. Has him hooked up here, flips him round, butterfly backbreaker. Nice move from the Assassin there, and a moonsault, standing lariat moonsault for the Assassin as well. Good connection on that one, and boots his man across the ring. And just as I said that the firefighter had been the more in control athlete here, it's now the Assassin who takes control of it and then switches back to the firefighter. I know the Assassin with the elbow. It is a mixture of styles here between these two, of course. The Assassin prefers the high tempo, likes to move around the ring quickly, bouncing off the ropes, not afraid to go up top. The firefighter, of course, prefers a slower tempo and prefers to slow his opponents down as much as he can. The Assassin knows he's going to get the victory here. He's going to have to go through the gears quickly. Gets a 2 count there, almost surprisingly, as the firefighter rolls to the outside. The Assassin screaming to the KEW fans as he runs, dives over the top rope and catches the firefighter with a suicide dive to the outside, flipping over the top ropes. A little jog now, points to somebody in the crowd there. Standing moonsault again, not varying the moveset particularly here for the Assassin, but he is now in control of the firefighter and is looking potentially to put this one away if he can. Maybe an Assassin's edge is inbound for the firefighter, reversed. Oh, into the post though goes the Assassin. I thought that was going to be the firefighter in the post. Into the post goes the Assassin, and now the firefighter with the advantage on the outside power bombs him down after that pop-up power bomb earlier in the ring. The Assassin's back must be hurting, on the 6 count as well. Now dragged to the floor with a big elbow from the jorts wearing firefighter on a 7. Big elbow to the top of the Assassin's head. Of course, nobody wants a count out here. A count out surely would end in a fatal 4-way, being our next match, up to a 9 count as both men slide into the ring on a 9. And now the Assassin goes after the firefighter, who catches him with a little drop second rope stunner here. And now the Assassin looks like he's in trouble as the firefighter picks him up around the waist, lifts him high. Of course, these two men only have one thing in common, and that was that they both had the opportunity for the KEW title shot against the Skeleton King, and both failed. Off the ropes goes the firefighter now. Big shoulder charge and another resplendent form from the firefighter. Here comes the Assassin, though, misses wildly and slammed down on his back as he struts around in the ring. And is it time for a fire alarm to be installed? Not quite yet, says the firefighter. A bit more damage is needed, showing the power off on display here as he flips him over onto his back. And now maybe he'll look to tug him into position and install that fire alarm into the Assassin's head again. No, lets him roll over and picks him up again, showing that power on display. But surely he's got to be wearing his own arms down. I say that he's an endurance athlete though, and he can go for days. Of course, the firefighter gets only a 1 count there. The firefighter, I'm a little surprised by that. I thought the Assassin would have more in him. Lifts him up. Oh, fireman's carry! Fireman's carry from the Assassin, pulling out his own move against him, and rolls the shoulder, does the firefighter, out of almost nowhere. The Assassin stealing the finisher off of him, and a big moonsault off the ropes now. And now the Assassin might look to put this one away here, ladies and gentlemen. Can he pull out an Assassin's edge here? Here he goes, Assassin's edge, spinning round, clutching the back though. What damage has he done to himself within that? Is he going to knock off the firefighter too? Oh, he rolls the shoulder at the final seconds there. I'm sure the Assassin thought he had that one won. Standing moonsault again. You can see he's clutching his ribs as well there. Now runs around off the ropes. Another moonsault after moonsault here for the Assassin. Looks to maybe go to the top rope. Is it going to be another moonsault incoming? Can the firefighter do anything to stop the moonsault barrage? He rolls out of the way at the last second to avert disaster. I fear that may have been it for the Assassin. For the firefighter there, had that have been a trio of moonsaults. Now the firefighter takes to the top ropes here, explosive exclusive KEW action for you, ladies and gentlemen, as he calls the assassin to his feet, hops down off the top rope though, didn't like what he saw there, saw the assassin maybe looking a bit woozy and decided not to go for the high risk manoeuvre in case he passed out in front of him, shoulder charging him in the corner, driving the air out of lungs. You can see, looks like the assassin's gasping for air down there, and this is exactly where the firefighter will want him. Gasping for air, driving the air out of his lungs in the corner. He knows that he now has the upper hand, surely does the firefighter. He knows that the assassin, not built for the endurance game like he is, he's already delivered a number of top moves to the firefighter and hasn't been able to put him away. The psychological edges with the firefighter, the fitness edges with the firefighter. Can he put the final touches to it, but gets caught cold here. Oh no, the assassin's edge puts him away, maybe goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3, and does, out of nowhere. 2 wins out of nothing now, ladies and gentlemen. Goodness gracious me, the assassin will be our #1 contender. He will be getting the next shot at the KEW title for another potential long reign as the KEW champion, or to walk off into the sunset with the belt. He will have to, though, take on one of our next 2 competitors. He doesn't know who it's going to be until this match is over, ladies and gentlemen. Our next match for the evening is our KEW title championship match, and it is a chair match at the request of the KEW champion. I'm not so sure that was the wisest move in the world, to be honest, to challenge the Demon to anything other than just a standard contest where you're allowed to go out of the ring and pull some weapons and some arsenalry out from under the ring, but it's what the Skeleton King demanded. He calls it his home match in inverted commas. I'm not so sure there is any home match when it comes to facing the Demon, though, in all honesty, ladies and gentlemen. The Demon has been on a slow charge up the KEW power rankings, you have to say. He should have probably got a #1 contender shot post or pre the last main pay-per-view. Big Bird's Bash. Was unfortunate not to, really. The Skeleton King has been dodging him at every opportunity, but he can't dodge him anymore. You'd have to say as well that the Shinigami will feel aggrieved that it's A, taken so long, and that B, he had to wait behind the torpedo getting a title shot from winning the Royal Rumble to get himself into this position. It's only going to have enraged the Demon more. He's had plenty of time to rest as well. A fresh Demon taking on the Skeleton King. I would be very worried and very panicked if I was the Skeleton King. Perhaps that's why he's elected to select the chair match, or request a chair match. A great equaliser is a steel chair, and it is of course the favourite implement of destruction of the KEW champion. The champion now who has reigned for 2 main pay-per-views. One that, of course, at the Christmas pay-per-view, it took a while for a challenger to emerge for his belt, has successfully defended it against the firefighter, successfully seen off a #1 contender's bid from the assassin, and now holds the KEW gold and looks to hold the KEW gold through the rest of the KEW season. He will know this will be one of his biggest tests, though. Defeat the Demon and he'll feel like he's an immortal. It is a challenge for anyone in the KEW. We've seen the 2 of them lock horns in the past. We've seen them team up in the past as well, of course. Famously against Tanj and Benji in a tag team match. Tanj and Benji, of course, teamed up, and they were plagued by that man there. And of course the Demon was selected as the Skeleton King's partner because of his dealings with Tanj. They decided to try and settle it together. They of course lost that tag team match, and the Demon has been irked somewhat by that, by His Majesty in recent weeks. Of course, His Majesty managed to settle the score somewhat by being a special guest referee after that contest for a straight up match between the Tanj and the Shinigami, in which the Shinigami took the victory with Mark's fast counting, you have to say. Of course, he denies any fast counting or wrongdoing in that contest. But if you want to go back and watch that one, ladies and gentlemen, I'd definitely say give it a watch. We'll focus on title action now, though.
Introducing the challenger from London, England, weighing in at 268 pounds.
And you have to say the Demon has been resplendent in his run up to be top of the power rankings. Everything in his way has melted like butter before him. This is a very different test for him, though. He's faced mainly all power athletes in his run to be the #1 contender. The Skeleton King is much more of a speed athlete. Not loads in the way of endurance, but he does have the ability to go the distance in a match and absorb a lot of punishment as well. You have to say he's been in some real slobber knockers, of course, with Benji that have gone on for a long time. The 45-minute steel cage best of 3 falls match, of course, was almost an hour in total. Real phenomenal on that one. That was, of course, at the end of last KEW season. Of course, the ambulance match with Benji was a real slobber knocker as well, so he knows how to handle himself in long reaching contests, and he's further in the ring here immediately, both men sizing each other up, and immediately Mark caught cold there as he went to lock horns with the Shinigami, who comfortably pushes him off. It's not going to be a power game that Mark's going to be able to win here. The Shinigami is going to have the power game all to himself. Mark's got to use that movement and that fast ability to get out of trouble to his advantage here. And early doors, it's the Shinigami, a couple of net breaks. There's another one inbound there, an eye rake or a net rake. We're not sure quite which one it was there. And Mark's been a slow out of the gates here as the Shinigami takes control of this one, picks Mark back to his feet now. I said the Shinigami been in resplendent form, and he certainly has started it well in this one. Big kick from Mark to the guts of the Shinigami, and here goes that high flying ability off the ropes, goes for the cover early doors. The psychological edge gets the 1 count there and says to the Shinigami, I've got your number, as he gets up. But the Shinigami swiftly back in control of this one, has hold of Mark by the back of the neck, puts him on the ropes here. Maybe we'll look to choke him on top of the ropes. He's going to go to a suplex here, bounce him on, hang him nastily on the middle of the ropes, and climbs in and out of the ring there. The Shinigami push off Mark at the easiest of strokes here, jumps on top of him, pummel him down. Again, Mark's kind of chosen the wrong tactics here for this one. We saw him slow against the torpedo, of course. He threatened to embarrass the torpedo, didn't end up being that way. The torpedo almost embarrassed him, in fact, bouncing off of the clothesline now. And Mark looks around at the referee and says, good lord, what the hell am I meant to do against this Demon? Clobbered down to the floor now. He's going to have to just hang in here if he's to hold on to the KEW title, we feel, ladies and gentlemen. Into the corner he goes now. The Shinigami continues his dominance, rolls out under the ring and looks to pull out the first chair of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, a chairs contest. Nothing but steel under the ring. Oh, and a chair shot to the champion's head. Throws the chair down. And now I thought he might go for the pinfall there, but allows the KEW champion back to his knees, only to headbutt him back down to the floor here. He took that chair shot flush to the skull, you'd have to say. The Skeleton King's going to be feeling that one for the moments to come in this contest. 2 count early doors for the KEW #1 contender as well. Now pulls the arm out of Mark, stomping on the shoulder. Maybe he's going to look here to go for a demonic kiss out of the corner here, ladies and gentlemen. Gets himself in position. He might be looking to put this one away if he can get the demonic kiss on that chair. Moving across the ring in that crab-like formation. Mark's got plenty of time here to see this one coming in as the Shinigami takes his time, creeping across the ring as Mark is maybe he's playing a bit of possum, maybe he's recovering, he's nudging that chair closer as well. Rolls over now on top of the steel chair. It's in position, has hold of Mark. Can Mark avoid disaster? Oh, manages to at the last second there, bursts out of it. I said that the Shinigami was taking an awful long time, and the KEW champion had time to recover, but only to be crushed back down under a Fez press. And the Shinigami continues his assault here. He wants that KEW championship. He wants to be a 2-time KEW champion, and let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, he deserves to be. It's about time the KEW championship changed hands here. The Skeleton Kings had an easy ride of it as the KEW champion, and I'm sure the KEW locker room will be watching on and watching this one, saying, go on Shinigami, take the belt off of that devious little man. Mark laying on the floor now as the Shinigami beckons him to his feet. Slow back to his feet. Here is Mark. Axe handle slam to the KEW champion. He goes for the cover. You can see the face paint's almost rubbed off of Mark entirely already. He's not even got going in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a disappointing and dismal display from the KEW champion. He's been A little bit embarrassed here by the Shinigami so far. Goes for the chair shot, that's the Shinigami. Mark catches him out though, tucks in between the legs here, and might look to go for, oh, the Crown Crusher out of nowhere, slamming the Shinigami down. The Shinigami rolls out of the ring though. Mark to the top rope here, and then gets, oh, I thought he might get froggy from the top rope, goes for a cover. Well, the falls are on for anywhere as well. The referee slow out of the ring here. Oh, Shinigami rolls a shoulder as Mark had the body splash. He's asking the referee, where was the fast count there? He had no fast counting going on. He looks extra disappointed as the KEW champion. It's the kind of reversal in fortunes he needs. Gets a big shot in. Oh, the Benji backstabber to the Shinigami. Rolls over for the cover now as well. 1, 2. Oh, and a roll of the shoulder from the Shinigami there, saving the matchup. And Mark now looks to go under the ring, and we know what he's going to pull out here. His favourite. Oh, gets tripped at the last second by the Shinigami though, maybe an avoidance of disaster. And the Shinigami has hold of Mark. Here comes the demonic chokeslam on the chair, just avoids the chair. Surely now that'll be it, ladies and gentlemen. Rolls up for the cover. The referee on the outside. 1, 2, 3, there it is. We have a new KEW champion. Mark couldn't get out of first gear, it seemed. The Shinigami's our new champion. The Skeleton King dethroned, and will have to work his way back up the KEW power rankings as the Demon is our KEW champion. How long will he hold on to the belt, ladies and gentlemen? He knows he's going to have to defend it against the Assassin next week, and he's lost it to the Assassin in previous times. And that one, though, didn't even really break sweat for him in his KEW title hunt. I said it being in resplendent form, and he certainly looked it there. The Demon takes the gold. The Demon's the athlete to beat. The rest of the KEW locker room, be aware, be afraid. The Demon has the gold. He's on the hunt, and he will defend it vigilantly and violently. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, as a thrilling episode of KEW. Thank you for watching. Join us next week for more thrilling KEW action. Thank you.